What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. And break down what's happening with the economic data that just came out as CPI is out. And the market's holding up well so far. I'm also going to talk about some big news involving Tesla, which you should be watching for on the charts because Tesla's looking bullish right now. But before I begin to double this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, in just about 13 days. Anyways, for Tesla, we got this nice inverse head and shoulders like structure. We're trying to push up higher right here. With this resistance at 182, if we break through this, Tesla could go all the way up to this 185 area. And personally, guys, the chart is looking bullish off this nice move. The CPI numbers just came out, and they're actually not bad, at least on paper. Let me just make it very clear that I don't fully trust this data, nor would I say that this data isn't 100% credible. What I will say is that the data is still coming out. The market, the Fed, and etc. are accepting this data, and that forces us to kind of take it seriously and kind of use it when it comes to our analysis. So, core CPI month over month, according to the data, was 0.3%. This is aligned with expectations. Core CPI year over year was 3.6%. That's once again aligned with expectations. Inflation for all items month over month was 0.3%, aligning with expectations. And finally, we have inflation year over year for all items for April at 3.4%, aligning with expectations on the data. When it comes to retail sales, that also decreased a bit. That is below expectations, showing more and more slowdowns in the economy, which is slowing inflation down. And the data is once again more positive for what the Fed wants. So this incentivizes, once again, the Fed to be a little bit more, I would say, okay. This could be part of why Jerome Powell was so optimistic yesterday in his speech. Despite the fact that PPI came in a little bit hotter than expected, CPI is decent on paper. But later on today, do not forget that we have Kashkari giving a speech, not to mention Bowman. We'll see what they end up saying that affects the markets for now. So Kashkari gives a speech at noon, and then at 3:20 p.m. we have Bowman giving his speech, and that's pretty much it for the market for today. The main piece of data is out. Looking at the chart for CPI, looks just like this. So we saw a little decrease in core CPI. This is actually more positive for the markets and the Fed. And then we saw a decrease in all items CPI. This is more positive for the markets. I'll go over more specific details on the numbers. I just have a little, you guys can take a little snapshot of this if you want to look at them, but I'll go over more of these in a later video. For now, the news is now talking about how the market is rallying. The Dow Jones is once again jumping again as CPI came in less than expected. The market's loving this, and so far it's very excited. On top of all of this, there's more news coming out of the fact that CPI is giving consumers more relief, and the Fed is more optimistic about this. There's more AI races than ever before as Google's announcing its next developer conference, and they're going to be talking about their new AI models. Something else worth noting, and there's also more talk about Walmart laying off more employees in Arkansas. So that is another thing that's making up these headlines, at least for the overall market. But futures are jumping right now. For earnings, we just had Monday.com and Dole announced their earnings. For Monday.com, it's kind of ironic it came out on a Wednesday. They beat on earnings. They're also up 20% on strong growth, good guidance, and good Q1 beats. So not bad whatsoever. But so again, guys, we can see right over here, stronger than expected full year fiscal 2024 guidance. Good earnings overall. That's why the share price is up. As far as Tesla goes, I didn't see too many headlines come out that are too crazy about it. There's been some talk about how Elon Musk is sharing insight on the next gen Tesla Roadster performance. He's very, very optimistic about it and what its capabilities are going to be. And it is apparently going to have a 0 to 60 miles per hour time in less than 1 second. So that's something that Musk said before. It's still going to be insanely fast acceleration. It's going to be incredible. And you guys can see he's been saying more about it. So he said that the Roadster uh, is going to be achieving, if not the same, if not better, I would say 0 to 60 times the Model S, even though it's a two-door fully performance-oriented vehicle. So uh, that's something that's very, very interesting. We're going to be talking about some super fast acceleration times and big improvements, and he's very excited about this as well. So, in my personal opinion, with what is coming out, there's a lot of optimism about this, and there's been a lot of good news involving CPI. So far, the market's holding up very well. What do I see for Tesla? In my personal opinion, guys, we'll be watching these levels. Watch 182 as resistance, 185.87. For support, watch 180, followed by 178. Then we have 175 over here, which is where we have our EMAs, followed by 172 and 170. So with this nice accumulation structure, this is forming a nice cup right over here. This is forming like a cup. And you could see if buyers step in again and we break 182, we're easily going to come up to 186. I think that this structure is showing that Tesla's going to pump even more over the next day or so. And I think that it has a price target of about 186 to 187 a share, and there is more upside momentum possible. Now, could Tesla, could Tesla kind of dip a little bit, retest this like 178 zone? It could dip a little bit, but I think eventually it's going to try to push back up higher over the next few days, and there is more upside potential, in my personal opinion. So look at this resistance, see if Tesla dips a little bit, kind of grabs liquidity here, and continues to push over the next couple of days, all the way up to that 186 to 187 target. There is more upside potential. For NVIDIA went up to our target of 920. It's actually trying to get above that. And we're forming a very, very nice looking structure right over here. So with the symmetrical structure, there's even more upside potential as we're trying to fill this imbalance. And we do have potential to go all the way up to 930 in the future. If that breaks, I'll be looking at 944. Now, in the beginning, if we do retest 920, that's always a possibility. We kind of tip a little bit, retest 920. Then we try to bounce and break out towards 930. That's a strong possibility, and I do favor that a bit more for NVIDIA. So watch and see that for more potential upside. A little dip and then a push for 930 plus. For SPY, we pushed all the way up to about 527, but now we're kind of hitting some tough resistance. We're now approaching 525 again. So I would say to watch 525 as key support. If we lose that, we're going to be dipping down towards 524. Then we have 522.6 and 521.5 as supports. Resistance, watch 526.6. If it breaks that, we'll look at 528, followed by 530. In my opinion, SPY could dip a little bit more, might retest 525 or so. I think we might see a lot of shuffling here, but it may make an attempt to push later towards 528. Overall, it's still looking more bullish, and there is more upside potential. So look for a little dip, sideways price action, maybe even more upside later on. The chart still looks bullish to me. For the QQQ, it's also looking kind of bullish. We have 448 being tested right now. We have resistance at this 450 range, 449.5 to 450, and also we have 452. If we dip a little bit, we're going to be looking for a test of about 448. If we lose this, look for 446 and 444. I think we might be dipping a little bit towards the 447 area, just a bit, and then we're going to start pushing higher towards 450 all over again. But there is more upside potential. For Aapl, we had 188. Same thing with Aapl. We're going to be fighting resistance right here. But I think there is potential for it to get all the way up to 190 later. So it might dip a little bit, trade sideways slowly, and slowly start inching its way up to 190 over the next couple of days. The VIX, I'm going to look at the VIX real quick. The VIX is dropping. It hasn't fully filled this gap below. It could come down to fill this gap, so there's more downside potential in the VIX. That's because the market has more upside potential. For the meme stocks, AMC is dipping more. We're approaching our 20 EMA, in my opinion, around 5.38. So it looks a bit more bearish. GME also looking kind of bearish. I could see it dipping to at least 37 or below. So look for a little bit of downside for those. Meta's looking a bit more bullish. Gonna be looking for a test of 478 very soon. So it could go a little bit higher than eventually 480. And for Amazon, we're looking for a push towards, it's basically still shuffling at 187. If it breaks this, we're going to be looking for 190, but that's what I'm seeing at least for now. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. So hopefully this video was insightful. Just know that the market data is not bad. It's looking pretty good on paper. Not saying I fully trust the numbers or anything. I'm just saying that that's what the numbers are telling us. And this is helping Tesla push, not to mention some decent news. So there is more upside potential for Tesla, and it does look like it's going to push higher. With that being said, thank you for listening. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys in just a couple of hours. Thanks again, and peace out.